I went to my first pay-per-view live. I've been to a Dynamite and a Collision for AEW, but I went to Forbidden Door in London at the O2. So I thought what I'd do is tell you my experience. We decided to leave early, like stupidly early, and we got there with like about 6 hours to spare. So what did we do? So obviously we had some food, had a walk around, got some merchandise. I thought I'd show you basically what I got, what it looks like, how much it costs, all sorts. Some of it's expensive, some of it wasn't. The only thing I wasn't willing to buy was a replica belt for 850 quid. I don't have that kind of money to spare. The most I would have limited myself to for that would have been 250 quid. But I got some merchandise, okay, went back, took it to the car, right, went back again so I could get some more. I've wore the t-shirt, it needs washing, okay, but I'm still going to show you what it is though. Okay, so the first thing I basically got straight away was a Timeless Tony Storm t-shirt. That's a large and it fits nice, snug. I also got a gym towel. Literally what my plan is basically to put it on the background so it's not just plain white. And that is a Forbidden Door gym towel. So I'll pull that down and I'll show you that now. I also got myself a Will Ospreay scarf. Same reason, my plan is to put it across there, maybe with some floating showers and put some figures on there. I also picked up an AEW program, thinking it'll basically explain what matches are on, who's who, but it's basically just like the bio of which wrestlers they are. What I don't like, obviously, is like when they mention the factions. Like in there, they've got MJF as part of the Hurt Syndicate. He's only there for like what, a few weeks, but I'll show you what it looks like and a few close up, and obviously you'll see. You can see there's like wrestlers in there, there's referees. I'm not going to show you every single page obviously, but the t-shirt cost me £40. The gym towel I think was £30. The program was £20. The scarf was also £20. And the most expensive one was the MJF figure. I personally don't really like the face it's got on him now, but there's also a spare one as well, which I think looks more like, which is good. It was only the choice of MJF or a smaller version of Swerve Strickland, and I'm more into these kind of figures. I wasn't going to buy it. I went back 3 times and I thought, you know what was the chance? Basically, there's only been about 3,000 made, apparently. I'm not going to count them. At the moment, I'm not planning on opening it, but it comes with this obviously American outfit, a change of hands, a change of head. Sounds good. He's got his American hat, obviously it's like quite floppy as well. I don't know if he's got his American title in there, not too sure. But basically that's all the merchandise I bought. Then the doors opened at 4 o'clock, everyone started queuing at 2 o'clock for some unknown reason. So me and my mate jumped into the queue, I don't know, maybe about 3:30. We was in there before everything started, which is fantastic. This is basically the seats that we got, obviously the view. To me, I think if it was any further back, I wouldn't have enjoyed it. I could just about see good enough, right? And I like the fact that we was on the actual ramps. So if somebody stood up in front of us, we couldn't see. So we just stood up, it's that simple. But if you're on the bottom level, right, you're in line with everybody. So if somebody's sitting in front of you that's taller than you, I don't like that. Okay, right? It was just great. Okay, my experience there, absolutely loved it. Would love to do it again. The price of the drinks, it was like £4.40 for a can of pop, or like £4 for a pint of pop, squash, soda, whatever word you want to use. Not in squash, it's fizzy drinks. So that for about literally a quarter of a bag of sweets, like 12, 13 quid. But I didn't care. I don't know the price of anything else there. Obviously, it took me about 2.5 hours to get there, about 2.5 to 3 hours back, roughly same. Enough time to get there, plenty of parking. Parking was easy to sort out because I didn't sort that out. Obviously, we have charges over here for like going different parts of the country, unless you've got a certain type of vehicle. Mine obviously, got charged for it. Wasn't too warm in there, wasn't too cold. Seats were comfortable enough, quickly to get in, easy. They told me that I wasn't allowed my camera, and then somebody else told me I wasn't allowed my camera, and then somebody else told me I am allowed my camera, and I was allowed my camera, and then they told me I'm not allowed my tripod, and I was like, it's literally just like I wasn't allowed that. I wasn't allowed to take that out, but it is what it is. It was great getting involved in the crowd chants. Just being a part of it was absolutely amazing. I would love to do it again. Anything different? I feel like some of the things should have been cheaper, like a replica belt. They would sell a hell of a lot more, I personally think. Mine would only be for the background of my videos. The figure, it was because it was 50 quid. I was like, do I, don't I? And I thought, you know what? If I don't, I'll probably regret not buying it. There'll be one person out there going, oh, you spent 50 quid on that. Yeah, I've literally just said that. Anyway, let me know if you went there as well. Let me know what you thought of the actual experience of everything, because obviously my first pay-per-view, and because it was such a good one to me, it'll be great to obviously go to another one. And the fact that I got to see Cope and Christian wrestling for the first time, I got to see Samoa Joe wrestling for the first time, I got to see Will Ospreay wrestling for the first time, and obviously he's going to be out for a bit. Swerve Strickland wrestling for the first time, because obviously when I went to Dynamite, a lot of these people weren't wrestling. There's a few more, obviously I'm not going to name it. Anyway, let me know what you thought of Forbidden Door, and obviously if you did go there, please like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching.